Hello, brother. This is a diet that helped me increase my weight by 10 kg of lean mass in 1 year. So, we're firstly going to go over the overall plan and, some key steps. But I just want you to realize something that you may see this title and think, oh, I'm clickbaiting and stuff, or this is ridiculous. No, like, I actually did this. And this is not me boasting, this is me realizing that I did as you can see, it's like 5 slides underneath, right? I did like 5 steps, and this helped me increase my weight by this much while staying within like 1 or 2% the same body fat. And this was revolutionary for me. I made so much progress in 1 year as opposed to 2 previous years that I was working out, and I didn't really gain that much. So I had a lot of wasted time before this, and then it took me a lot of time to figure this out. So hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll know the steps I did that you can implement in your life, and it's just going to make everything so much better. And you're not going to have like a 2 year period like I had where I put on 5 kilos during this. As a teenager, working out, like during this time, I probably worked like 500, 600 times, like 250, 300 days in a year. Across 2 years, I only put like 2 kilos a year. Very slow, and then I did this, and everything changed. So, the overall plan, first of all, is obviously we want to increase our calories, we want to like not compromise our sleep or training or studying or work, all the other things. And bulking makes that a lot more difficult because you have to spend more time cooking, eating, you feel more sluggish because you have so much food inside you, and digesting that is just very arduous for your body. Like, this is why people say don't eat, say 2 hours before you sleep, because it impacts your how well you sleep, because your body, instead of like repairing muscle and resting you, it's active right now because it's digesting. So, first point that I'd like to mention on that is we need to have eating rest breaks. You can't have, say, like, oh yeah, you skip breakfast, like I like to do. I don't really like to eat breakfast, but I have to now. And then you have a period where you eat, and then you don't eat like the last 4 or 5 hours of the day. We don't want this. Instead, we want to have meal, say like 20 minutes after we have a meal, then we have a break. Say you're at school or first few hours of work, you have another meal, then another break, you get home, you have another meal, and then before, like 2 hours before sleep, you have another meal. This may seem excessive, but I would recommend is all I did was I increased my meal amount as opposed to increasing. I mean, I would still increase my portions, but my portions were already quite big. So if I increase my portions more, then for the next hour or two, I'd feel horrible. I'd feel way too full, wouldn't be nice. But if I split them up into smaller meals and I just had breakfast earlier and had my last meal a little later, there would be ample time between meals that I wouldn't feel sluggish. I wouldn't feel tired in school or too full or wouldn't finish a meal because I'd have a normal sized meal. 4 hours later, I'd have another one. 4 hours later, I'd have another one. 4 hours later, I'd have another one. So it was so manageable for me to do that. Obviously, the 4 hours is variable, right? But I'd really recommend this. This makes eating so much easier because if you're trying to increase your calories by, say, 500 a day or even 200 a day or something, it can be quite difficult to do without you feeling stuffed. And then you need to go to training and you need to work out and you need to study, all these things. You don't want to just get home and need to eat like 2 plates of massive amounts of food because you didn't eat a proper breakfast. Next, add high calorie gems. What do I mean by this? I mean, in those meals, what I did was I would, for example, if it's a savory dish, near the end of the meal, I'd add a tablespoon of butter or I'd drizzle some olive oil on top. Like, say that was meat and vegetables or rice or potatoes or pasta, add a tablespoon of butter, add a drizzle of olive oil, things like that. That, say, at 1 tablespoon of olive oil, which, if you make a drizzle across like 3 of the 4 meals, that can be 1 or 2 tablespoons, which is going to be around 250 calories a day or 200 calories a day because each tablespoon is about over 100 calories. Do you see what I mean? Like, just from that, I didn't increase my portion size at all. I didn't do anything different. Literally, you could take your diet now and just do this thing. Add a tablespoon of butter with some meals. Like, if you had a porridge or something sweet, add some more butter. If you have rice or pasta, add a few tablespoons of butter in there. It's really going to help take the calories forward. Additionally, you can do things like really high calorie shakes. I just didn't do it because of the money, to be honest with you, because I'm not going to have a shake unless there's protein powder inside of it. And to me, protein powder kind of seems like a waste of money, just because if I'm using two, three, 4 scoops a day, even if you use the like recommended 2 a day, and then I buy a tub every like 2 weeks to a month, it's like 30, 40 pounds. And to me, it just seemed ridiculous. Like, it just wasn't worth it. I didn't like the flavor, and I thought, why would I spend that when I can just have another meal? And yeah, the meal itself is expensive, but the meal is going to be a lot better for you as opposed to just chucking ingredients in there. But if you're the type of person that enjoys shakes and it's more convenient for you based on time, a shake I'd recommend that I used to have like back in the day was, say, like a cup of oats, cup of milk, whole milk, add your creatine, add your protein powder, and then you can add random stuff like 1 or 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and each tablespoon is going to be like 140 calories. Like, check that obviously, but give or take above 100 calories, so then you can have a massive amount of calories in one shake. Really helpful if you're in that type of stuff. But I always and still do add high calorie additions to my meals that don't really alter the flavor and just make it nicer. Next, cars run on only one fuel. On the previous point, as I said, you think, oh yeah, I can just add butter and just shit to my food constantly. It's like, well, no, butter and olive oil are like healthy fats. Don't use this as excuses like, oh yeah, with my meal, I'm gonna have some junk food, or with my meal, I'm gonna have like a greasy pizza, or I'm gonna have some sweets. Because, sure, like calories in, calories out, are you gonna put on the same weight? Yes. Are you gonna feel the same? Definitely not. And you are not a full-time bodybuilder. It's not just about training and eating meals. You're probably a student. You probably have work. You have relationships. You're trying to make friends. You're trying to get into a sport. You're trying to make your own business. All these things, and even if you're not doing those things, you're trying to achieve in those areas. You can't be there giving your body shitty fuel, because then you're gonna feel bad. You can't have like fast food one day and then you wake up the next day and you feel horrible. You want to run like slow releasing carbohydrates. You want to run on better foods as much as possible. And this isn't even like, people keep using the excuse of like it's cheaper. It's not cheaper, bro. You can go out, get a kebab, and it's like £15 as one meal. Think how much pasta and meat you can get for £15. Like, obviously dollars exchange, I don't know, like $22 or something. $20. I'm having my conversions rates in my head. You can buy a whole chicken for like £4. You can buy bags of pasta with that. Easy meals right there. Do you see what I mean? It's never about the money and the convenience. It's like, time you order and you're sitting there and it arrives and you clean up. Yeah, you save a little bit of time. It's not worth both your money, and as a student, you probably don't have that much money to spend on like getting food out every day. And learning to cook eventually becomes so easy. And on the point of cooking, because obviously I'm telling you like, hey, like, don't eat junk food. Okay, well, what do you want me to do? Learn to cook basic recipes with 3 components. What do I mean by that? I don't mean like, yeah, 3 ingredients. No, I'm talking, choose a meat you like, choose a carb you like, choose a sauce. So, for example, I would do pasta, rice, bread, potatoes. Say those can be carb sources. Then meat, beef, mince, like beef mince, turkey mince, other meats I'd go for. And then you can just add a sauce to that. Just learn how to make a basic sauce, like watch a 30-second Insta reel on how to make a basic tomato sauce, or a basic lemon sauce, or a butter sauce, or just a random sauce that you see online that will go with the food. Try that for a week, and now you can have an interchangeable amount of recipes. That you can have beef with pasta one day, or chicken and rice, or interchange them and have beef and potatoes another day with a different sauce, or a tomato sauce this day, or a wine sauce the other day. It becomes so easy, and then you can meal prep that. You can make a big quantity of it and eat it, have like 4 meals worth of it coming up. So then you wake up tomorrow and your food's already cooked, and then you save time there. It's a really, really good and helpful habit to have. Finally, really quick point, supplements. I took creatine and I took some vitamins like vitamin D, zinc, magnesium. By the way, the vitamins are really unimportant to me. I just took them because like they're in my house. The whole point of that though is I didn't really feel a benefit. Like there could be like 2 or 3 weeks where I just wouldn't take any and I'd feel the same. But that may be because I was taking them before, so I wouldn't be deficient in any of those supplements. You probably are deficient in vitamin D. A lot of people are. You're probably deficient in magnesium. You're probably deficient in zinc. I'd get them and try them. I wouldn't recommend get your blood work tested. Like, so much hassle. Just get some vitamins, or ask your parents to get you some vitamins, or your roommate, whatever. Get some vitamins together, take some for a little bit. You can go off and on them. It's not that important, but it's good if you're like deficient. Say if you're testosterone for vitamin D, magnesium, all these things, and fish oils. But the supplement that I was taking that was so important, as I said before, was creatine. Creatine was so impactful. Like, I could feel from the time when I started, creatine genuinely made such a nice addition to my weight, to my progress, to my strength. And creatine, they say, adds about 1 to 2 kilos of muscle a year. Say one. I think most studies say like 1 to 1.2. Think that you can have that. That's like a tenth as effective as steroids, but you can have that every year. So every year you're going to keep doing this, and then in 5 years' time you have an extra 5 kilos of mass because of creatine, and it's good for like recovery, good for sleep, good for cognition if you take enough. Probably not going to get to that stage. It's good for you overall. I didn't have any side effects. I really recommend trying it, and it's a lot cheaper than protein powder. Because I thought about it, I was like, I don't really want to be taking creatine and protein powder. I just didn't really like taking like a ton of supplements. So I thought, wait, I can get 3 tubs of creatine a year, and that's going to be about, say, 20, 30 pounds a pop. Or I can do like a tub of protein powder a month, which is going to be 30, 40 pounds a month. And it just didn't make sense to me. It's like, yeah, protein powder is really good. Creatine just has better, like, shown effects. And that's what I liked. I thought this is cheaper, easier for me to take, and I can just take it consistently, not worry about it. I can miss a day or two, it's fine, just get back on, not a problem. Really don't overcomplicate this stuff. Supplements is like a final thing. I just didn't take creatine before. This year when I started taking it, it really made a big difference. So I'd recommend that for you as well. Really hope this helped, man. If you have any questions, like leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you. Get off YouTube and go do something productive. Much love, man.